Yo, what up, YouTube? Game Dog RC back with another quick one. Um, First real nice day in a little while, so I haven't really been able to drive. Just trying to make sure I got my camera right. But I just basically brought my red cat out for a little quick stress test because I put some new tires on there. The Power Hobby Defender 3.8 belts. I meant to order 2.8s, but they too big. Got them by accident, but they still fit a 4S max. So I just wanted to stress test this because I drove this with the stock tires last week on like a nice day when it was quite warm, and it kind of overheated, like it thermaled and shut down. So I just want to see how hard these tires are going to be on this ESC2 because this thing shut down last week under just normal heat with the regular tires on there. But I was kind of like gunting it really hard on the concrete. So I just want to see what this thing will do. Excuse me if my camera's not right. I'm trying to make sure this thing is sitting right on my head. Yeah, now I think those tires are a little bit too big because I had to turn the steering dual rate down so they wouldn't rub on the bumper. And see, it's not pushing power like it normally does. It doesn't really like those tires. Those tires are a little bit too bulky for this truck. I can tell just how it's driving. They're belted though, so it's more stable. Can't lie though, I can't get full throttle on this thing with these tires. And I had to turn the steering endpoint adjustments down. Like I said, they'll rub on that front bumper. And it's definitely slower. It's not as fast with these belted tires as it was with the regular tires. But it's a little more stable to drive in the grass. See, it keeps the nose down, but it's not as fast. These tires make it slow. They're a little too heavy for this tire. I mean, for this truck. And I can hear it stressing the drivetrain out a little bit. So see the wobble on those tires? See the wobble? The thing, I got my Rustler out here too. I put the sledges back on that, did a little super glue, and basically I want to run this in the grass because the Duratrack Bandito street tires, it didn't like them with the new setup. They're too wobbly. So a lot of these belted tires are actually pretty much off balance out here. A lot of companies are selling tires that are kind of like off balance. Just want to make sure I'm getting everything in the video because see, I can't really see anything. So I got to lift this thing up and then raise the camera down a little bit. There we go. Because I want to be able to keep my head straight and see and still let the camera. That's full throttle across the grass with belted tires. Oh. This thing is concrete roll over. So on heavy braking, it made this truck just roll like that. These wheels are really big and they're off balance. They're really wobbly on this truck. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is get some Proline belted because those tires are a lot more better looking and stable. Look at that. See how it bounces? You can see those tires are like really off. Check that out. See how it's bouncing? You can look at the back end and tell how the tires are off balance. See how it hesitates like that? So let's get the throttle trim right. Something definitely just happened. stuttering a little bit. Why is it stuttery like that? It sounds like it's stressing out the diffs a little bit with them wheels though. That's okay. I'm gonna service the diffs on this car soon too. Yeah, something definitely just broke when it did all that flipping. Something just happened. There you go. Yeah, it was hesitant on the throttle, like it was dip dip. There you go. So you gotta get that throttle trim right. Definitely not as fast without with these tires. The stock tires are a lot better as far as speed, but they wobbly. This one you can gun full trigger through the grass, but it's definitely slower with those tires. It's hard to get it up to speed and make it hold the speed. Those tires are not really, yeah, them tires are not good for this thing. All right, so we going. All right, so what I can see, this thing is overheated. Something is wrong with it. It's really overheating in the summer. I don't know, you know, it's hesitating on with these heavy tires. It doesn't like the tires. I unhooked the lights today so that it wasn't any lights on and drawing more power from it. But this thing is thermaling. It keeps overheating. This is the second day that it did that, and that's how I know, because the truck will be on like that, but when you hit the trigger, nothing happens. So this thing overheated again. So we're finding out that these Valkyries, these Red Cats have, well, I would say the Hobbywing system has an overheating issue, the Max 10. So, and it's like 65 degrees today. It's nice and balanced. So one thing I can say, this Traxxas, that Traxxas is not going to overheat. These Hobbywing systems, they overheat a lot. So let's see what we can do with the Rustler. All right, let's hook this thing up. Now I'm not putting the lights on the cars today because I want to save as much amperage as I can. I just wanted to get out here and show you guys this. So this Rustler has been fully rebuilt on the bottom, all metal. But this is my first time testing this setup out on the grass. I only drove this car once, and with these upgrades, and it was on the street. And as y'all know, this thing likes to warm up. Make sure I got my steering trim right. So I might need to test the tightness of the slipper clutch on this thing. But once it warms up, it pretty much runs. Yeah, it seems like the transmission's still warming up a little bit. Much better with these tires though. That's why I said I'll just keep the tires, the sledgehammers on here until I get some pro lines for this car. So for everybody that like to get on me about my what they would call my negative opinions on Traxxas, it's not fully like that. Like I said, Traxxas cars are not bad, but like that one, rollover, 2-wheel drive, it doesn't like to be turned at high speed. All right, so I said, once I've pretty much built the Rustler, this truck is pretty fine. That's why this is my only gripe, okay? Because I tell people I don't hate Traxxas, okay? But this is my thing with them. Their cars are perfect once you do all of that. So once you change everything that's plastic to metal, you know, to where everything under the car, so my A-arms, my shocks, turnbuckles, C-hubs, drive axles, everything is metal under this car now. It still has the stock 3S Valenian, well, not stock because this is an XL5, but I put the 3S motor in there. So I run all Traxxas stuff on my Traxxas cars. That's one thing that I try to do because, like I said, if I take the Hobbywing Max 10 out of this and slap it in that Traxxas, it's no longer a Traxxas car because Traxxas is pretty much one of the only RC companies besides like Arrma, well, really Arrma uses Spectrum. I guess that would be Arrma's in-house, but Traxxas has their own electronics and stuff with their name on it. So that's what I mean by that. Like, if I do a total conversion on a Traxxas, it's not a Traxxas car anymore. You see what I'm saying? And they're one of the only companies who do that because, like I said, they have their own electronics and stuff in these vehicles. It's not like you buy a Traxxas and it has a Castle Creation system in it. No, everything is in-house with Traxxas. So basically, if I put a higher system under this car, then it's not a Traxxas car anymore. So I call them Traxxas cars when you keep everything Traxxas on them as far as electronics and power. Of course, you may have to get metal upgrades from a company that's not Traxxas, but as far as the electronics, once you take the ESC and the motor out of a Traxxas car, it's not a Traxxas car anymore, to me. Even the same with Nitro. Nitro's a little different because those are actual motors. You can, you know, it's a little bit different when you running gas, you know, because I might buy, like my VRX got a .18, but it's just an HSP car. So if I was to put a Jado, you know, a Traxxas 3.3 motor in that car, it's not a HSP no more. But if I take a Traxxas Jado and I put a little Force 18 into it, a smaller motor than what came in it, it's technically not a Traxxas car no more because even Traxxas Nitro motors are made in-house. That's their stuff. So they have their name on everything in the cars. That's why I said it's not a Traxxas car no more once you start swapping electrics. Like once you start swapping electrics, it's not. So I broke something. I can hear it. Ew, that doesn't sound good. Well, that sounds like the end of the RC day, but this Game Dog RC, sorry for the shitty footage. This was just like a quick random video. But like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one when we start messing with the Nitro more, when it gets balanced weather like this every day. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.